It's just me. I didn't realize how dark it was till I saw you coming up the stairs.
I didn't know what happened to you.
Well, yeah, I was staying at my aunt's, but that's not gonna work.
Oh, I already told you could stay here. You know that. Nobody would have to know.
I think it's better if I'm not around.
I know you do, but I already told you I think you're wrong. I begged you once not to leave town. Once is my limit.
Okay.
You never forgive anything, do you? No, God forbid, that would be weak and unmanly.
Elizabeth, it's not my job to forgive my father for something he did to somebody else.
I meant me. Obviously, you think it's an outrage that I went to see him.
What? What did you think you were going to accomplish?
I didn't think. I just went. I wanted your father to make things right for you, purely for selfish reasons, so you wouldn't feel like you had to leave. Instead, he wound up trying to make things right for me.
Yeah, he's a good talker, I knew that.
Lucky, don't do that. Don't pretend like you don't care. I know that game. I invented that game.
What do you want me to say? He's a good dad. I never went without. What the hell, I'll just overlook the rest? If the man who rapes you had a son, is this what you'd be telling him to do?
I don't give a damn about your father, okay? He scares me, he's nice to me. That about sums it up. But what I don't want to happen is for you to go away, and I don't see why I have to keep saying it, like it needs to be explained or something. Obviously, he doesn't mean the same thing to you. And obviously, it's easier for you to walk away than it is for me to let you.
It isn't easier for me. Are you listening?
Yeah.
Do you believe me?
Yes.
Elizabeth, if I stay here, I'll be in his orbit. You can't get away from him. He knows everybody. People just think I'm a brat. They'll want to know why. They'll come, they'll try to talk sense into me. What am I gonna say? I'll need a job. I'll need a place to stay. He'll make sure I don't get them. It's just gonna be simpler if I go someplace else.
Okay, well, maybe it'd be better for me wherever you're going to.
Elizabeth, I've lived out of a duffel bag before. You haven't.
What do you think I'm doing now? This isn't my town. I didn't grow up here. I haven't even known anybody in Port Charles for a year.
Your grandmother. Besides, you can't take off on her like that. I mean, she'd never get over it.
No, she wouldn't like it. But she gives me more credit than most people do. And I'd let her know that I was okay. Just don't tell me that I need to stay here and heal. That could take forever. Last night I went to one of those rape survivors support groups. I made it exactly as far as the door.
Well, let's see, that's good. Maybe next time
Yeah,
you'll...
maybe next time I'll actually open the door and stick my head in. Who knows? But who am I going to want to talk to about it if you're gone? I know you probably hate me laying all this on you, but I'm too much of a brat to care. I could be nice and wish you luck. But what would I do tomorrow?
Okay.
Okay, what?
Okay, I'll come up with plan C.
Well, why don't you just stay here then? I mean, I have my own room now, and I can make you up a bed on my Uncle Tom's old exercise mat. I'll put it away in the morning, and Cram doesn't have to know. And I'll bring you breakfast in the morning.
Elizabeth,
lunch, dinner.
You're gonna rob Audrey? What, to get me bus money? I can't stay in your room like a pet hamster forever. You know, maybe there is something I can do.
You mean here, like, get a job? But you already work at Kelly's.
Well, we'll see. I gotta go.
Hey, Lucky, why don't you just leave these here? Be careful.
Mrs. Cassidy, you probably remember me.
As if I would ever forget. Please, dear, unless you prefer to be called Mr. Spencer, do call me Helena.
All right.
Splendid. Now, what can I do for you tonight? Anything you want is yours.
Thank you for lunch the other day.
Well, aren't you well brought up?
Yeah, I have very good manners. I've heard some of those same stories about your family and mine, only in, I guess, what you'd call a different version.
Oh, I can imagine. But remember, there are two sides to every story, and mine is generally more interesting.
Well, I'd like to hear more. Maybe you could, find some use for me.
Such as what?
There are a lot of doors in this town that wouldn't open to you. I can open them.
And to procure your door-opening services, I would have to do what?
Just keep the stories coming, pay me double minimum wage. We have a deal?
Well, I would imagine I've made riskier investments. My son Stefan studies with that monk who slept on nails and walked on hot coals, for instance. But first, you have to explain that dolorous phrase, minimum wage, to me.